One semifinal down, one to go. Welcome to the 2021 OCAA Men's Soccer Championship Weekend, where the Humber Hawks take on the St. Clair Saints in a battle to find out who can make the gold medal game. My name's Justin Prince. Welcome to We Digital's coverage from Acumen Stadium at the main campus of St. Clair College, as these teams look to see who will take on the winner of the first semifinal just a few hours ago, the George Brown Huskies. These two teams have various different histories, varying to be precise. The Humber Hawks, they are the two-time defending champs, and they will start today with their goaltender in Holger Exhamada. Then you have lined up along with them for today, number 5 in Michael Fajon, along with Osman Hussein. Then Marcos Nunez, keep an eye on him, one of the all-stars, with Federico Leo, who was one of the top shot takers for Humber in regular season play. Then it's Luca Uccello, along with Jacob Rodriguez, lined up along with Dubuis. Rounding up that lineup is Alan Gasparado and Aurora. St. Clair, meanwhile, counters with Patrick Mayu, along with Evan Mendonca, lined up alongside Massimo Pollard. Romario Abraham, along with Noel Jr., starts along with Austin Severino, Carlos de Gloria Jr., Dylan Hayes, Yao Gabriel Santos, Yao Eva, and the goaltender is Thomas Koljak. That's a look at the lineup once again for the St. Clair Saints, who were second in the West Division in regular season play, and been able to win their way over Niagara and Durham to get here. Today's officials is our Vassal Deke, who will be the main official today, with Jose Cascales, along with Jafar Mohammed and Sean Sampson for that crew. The weather conditions have been a major talking point here in Windsor today, with the temperatures being 13 degrees Celsius, feeling like 11, but it has been raining all throughout the afternoon, about 5 to 10 millimeters. Humidity is at 94%. Wind gusts have reached as high as 39 kilometers per hour. The wind currently is blowing at 24. That's a look once again at your weather conditions for today's action for what has been a rainy day in Windsor. Currently, both of these teams are in the midst of their pregame ceremonies, it is worth noting, for today's action, where Humber comes in as the top team in the country. 2 times in a row, they have won the OCAA championship to represent their program at the national level, to the point where their head coach, and Michael Bueno, the 12-year head coach, has won 13 straight CCAA games. St. Clair has the major challenge, meanwhile, in trying to get their first medal since 2000 as a program, when they won the silver. They've won a bronze and an additional silver in the program's history, but never the gold. And boy, oh boy, would this be a huge victory for St. Clair if they could pull off an upset today. 6-2, including postseason play, entering today. Humber 6-0-1. St. Clair will be wearing their green jerseys for today's action. Humber will be wearing their white jerseys with a blue trim. The final huddles are wrapping things up before this important semifinal. We're glad to have you with us here on We Digital for the second semifinal of the 2021 OCAA Men's Soccer Championship, the Final Four. The winner moves to the gold medal game. The loser plays for the bronze tomorrow. And with the winds gusting all around the St. Clair Sports Park and swirling about, the question will be which team comes away with the W. All set and ready to go from Windsor, Ontario, St. Clair, Humber. You're on We Digital. The officials are ready. The players are ready. We're underway from Acumen Stadium. St. Clair starts off with possession to start. Trying to get out of some major traffic, Humber quickly picks up the ball. Pressure into the box. The shot misses the woodwork and quickly goes out of touch. Humber led the way in several different categories in OCAA play in the regular season. Goals, shots a game, assists, and total shots. And now it's already time for a corner kick, the first of the day in this game, this match. Corner kick bounces its way around in the box. St. Clair heads it out of the pressure. Train back this time to pick it on up. Usello. It goes out of touch. Throw-in coming up for Humber. Jordan for the first time. Just approaching 1 minute into play of OCAA men's soccer action for the Final Four. St. Clair kicks it to midfield. Aurora sees it kicked on back to the defenders. Desperado trying to move it on slowly up. The Central Division Player of the Year. Moved up towards midfield. Back and forth by Humber. Very calculated to start off this match. Desperado. Cross midfield on the pass, Aurora. Aurora jukes a couple of Saints. Pass on back, picked up by the Saints. Nearly overcorrected as Humber picks back up the ball. Hawks playing very patiently as the Central Division champions. Keep in mind, they were the best division defensive team, or rather the Central Division's best defensive team, with 6 goals allowed the entire regular season. This goes out of touch. Throw-in coming up. Just past 2 minutes into play here in the first half. We Digital, we're glad to have you with us here at Acumen Stadium. Hawks trying to sandwich around and whistles blow. A couple different Saints were grabbing that time at Lille. Lille, it's time for second and shots, keep in mind, in the OCAA regular season play with 11. Nunez 10 shots, tied for 4th. Getting ready for the free kick is Humber. Playing a traffic in the box. The header attempt. Bounces around. St. Clair can't get it out. Bounces off the back of a Saint. Their shot attempt blocked by St. Clair once again. Chasing after it is Hayes. Hayes watches that one goes out of touch to the edge of the football portion of the field. Again, back-to-back weekends where this facility and this complex have hosted OCAA championship action. Softball last weekend. Now soccer this weekend. St. Clair breaks up an attack. Hayes trying to move it along. Keeps it in touch. Intercepted quickly instead though. Bayhun wanting communication on his side as it goes back towards his way. Bayhun watches it loop around. Saying gets the pass back. Forced to retreat back a touch. Move back again to Gasparotto. Defender, keep in mind, scored 2 goals in regular season play. The attack is underway for Aurora meanwhile. Aurora, the shot. And over the woodwork it goes. And misses the uprights. Goal kick coming up for St. Clair. It was about a 50-50 split between the short pass attempts during the heavier rain earlier today in the first semifinal, and the kicks towards midfield. This time it's a kick over midfield. Past its intended header target in Mendonca. Mendonca deflects it, stays in touch. Aurora passed around. Usello kicked ahead by Hussein. Kicked across midfield. The big boot. Rodriguez trying to swing at it is St. Clair. To the corner goes Humber. St. Clair rips it away. Saints go for the float pass. Kicked away instead by Humber. Humber trying to keep it within the middle third mainly so far in these first 5 minutes. This one booted towards midfield once more. Looking around Nunez. Nunez has his pass broken up. A big push and contact between DeGloria Jr. and the couple Hawks. Humber now retreating back in another bit of contact, and this time it draws the whistle. That was Abraham. Trying to reach in for St. Clair. Humber quickly went for their free kick and quickly try and get it towards the box again. Bounces off the back of a Saint once more. Pass near side again, Pollard. See it sail to the goalkeeper, deflected around, and in the net it goes. Humber is on the board. And the Humber Hawks start off their match by breaking through quickly. Within the first 6 minutes, they're up 1-0 over St. Clair. And the amount of elation already popping up across the field from Humber, and the disappointment from some of the stands of the St. Clair faithful. It's prevalent. 1-0. St. Clair, they haven't even broken into Humber's closer third towards Humber's box yet. That goes out of touch for a throw-in. St. Clair trying to dry the ball before this throw-in. Over its intended target on the header once again. Humber back with it once more. Pass rolls its way to Fahon. Intercepted on the pass. Here comes the rushman, Donko. Quickly has it broken back up by Humber. Batted out of touch on the initial pass back attempt this time from Nunez. Throw-in coming up for St. Clair. St. Clair, so far, no shots on net. Humber with 2, with the Hawks up 1-0 after 7 minutes of play. And an hour whistle blows. Knockdown this time is Noel Jr., one of the top scorers for St. Clair, as that quickly works its way to the far side on the passes. Batted out of touch once again this time by Rodriguez. Humber forced deep within their own box now. Taking their time. Successful start to this matchup. Kick down the field. St. Clair heads it out of touch. Causes the whistle once more. Keep in mind, Thomas Kogel, I should say, started in 2 games in the regular season, allowing just 1 goal with 8 saves. 2 goals allowed and 8 saves. Script so far looking different for this postseason matchup. Retreating back is Junior. Passed across midfield once again. Deflected and intercepted once again. Aurora again breaking up St. Clair's attempt at an attack early in this match. Keep in mind, St. Clair was known for having a lower shot percentage, .127 in regular season play, 16th in OCAA play. Meanwhile, Samada passes it off there. The defenders continue to play back and forth. Gasparano. Get Aurora. Aurora trying to work together with his group. Allen. Passed along to the far side. The kick through to the box. Headed away once again by St. Clair. Severino. Looping on back once more. Mendonca. Mendonca has it stripped away. Nunez watches the slide tackle. Knocks the ball out of touch. That is Mayhew, who breaks it up, the first-year player for Amherstburg. And a corner kick appears to be coming up towards the near side corner. Quick corner kick. Passed on in. Back once again goes Humber. Still trying to pass it around. Katabui tries to break it out of St. Clair pressure, but it's knocked out of touch. And once again, another corner kick for the top scoring team in the regular season. The rain really starting to pour on down for this corner kick. Way over its intended target to the near side. Battling hard is St. Clair. Coming up with it once more is Allen. Allen boots it through the box. The shot. It scores! And the Humber Hawks take a 2-0 lead. And a dominating start to this one. Coming up with this one, Katabui, the first-year player from Toronto. And now St. Clair is in a deep hole early. The stands filled with plenty of St. Clair fans who are now watching as Humber continues to apply a ton of pressure and command the possessions. Kick back to the goaltender once again. Examina. Passed along once more. Fehan. Moved up towards midfield. We tap back and forth. Once again, move back to Fehan. Back to the goaltender. Examina. Moved along. Gasparotto. Back once more to Fehan. Moved along the benches this time by Humber. Trying to find some space. Katabui. Katabui gets the ball back after the deflection. Move back into Humber's territory. Roll back along the side. Back to the goaltender once again. Examina. Kicked and bounced around this time. Aurora. Aurora gives it back off. Nunez has it stripped away. Knocked out a touch. Goes off of Mayhew. 6 combined All-Stars. Part of these respective rosters playing today. Keep in mind, St. Clair has one of their 2 starters, or All-Stars, for the West Division, not playing to start off in Jonathan Rondinelli. St. Clair loses possession once more. This one kicked back to ex-Hamada. Humber controls the tempo with a 2-0 advantage approaching 13 minutes in. Very tactical for the Hawks on this attack. Kick on back towards the goalkeeper for St. Clair this time. Gojal. Pass along. The Saints move it across to midfield. Out of the range of Junior this time. Able to retreat back, though, to keep possession alive. Abraham. Abraham moves across the midfield as this ball bounces around. Mayhew calling forward on the near side. Picks it up this time. Mayhew passed along. Just stays within touch. Brought on back to Pava. The first-year player from Brazil. Floats it on around to Mayhew. Back pass, draw some whistles. The Gloria Jr. was tied up that time with Leal. So a player is down. Time to shoot. That is Aurora. Uday Aurora in particular. As we are quickly back rolling. Humber not taking their time when it comes to their free kick opportunities, electing to take the quick pass within the first couple seconds. Usella passing on back. As we take a look at the goals credited so far, Nunez and Katabui so far have picked up the 2 goals for the Humber Hawks. That's how the Hawks, in turn, with those 2 goals in 10 minutes, are up 2-0. Kicking it around this time is Fehan. Softly tapped again by Humber. Couple Saints try and pressurize the Hawks. This time it goes out of touch. Throwing coming up for Humber. Now when it comes to this Humber Hawks program, Keep in mind, they have won 8 of the last 10 golds in OCAA men's soccer. It's been a dominant program that has won 13 golds, 7 silvers, and 4 bronze medals in their history. Looking to add to that this year once more, the Hawks. As this goes out of touch, again, St. Clair taps it out. And of note, the Hawks, for their one playoff matchup in the quarterfinals, picked up a 5-0 victory on October 23rd over Conestoga. That's how dominant their run has been this season. It's to the point where Coach Michael Coino averages 1 loss per season. That's it in his helm. Attacking once more, Humber, quickly broken up by St. Clair. Taking it up as Junior. Junior surrounded by 2 Hawks, quickly gets it poked away. Fahon floats it on up. The attack by Humber. And a handball has been called, so play will stop. St. Clair quickly passes it ahead. Moved up now, Mendonca. Floated up for the pass. Over the head of Pollard. Pollard can't keep it in touch. It goes out. Humber with the throw-in. 4 shots by the Hawks so far. 1 total save, credit to St. Clair. The Hawks now floating in the head towards midfield. Aurora. Juking away this time from Mendonca. Avoids the slide tackle from Pava. Going on the charge. Taking it himself. Gets it stripped away. Severino breaks up the opportunity. Severino tries to go up the field himself now. He zips around Hussein. And another slide tackle as that draws a couple different flag pop-ups. No signal for a card that time. And this will set up a free kick opportunity. Going for this kick will be Mendonca. Mendonca waiting for things to position themselves. Everyone bunched together in the box. Kicked up through the crease, and the goaltender Examina jumps on it. He rolls the pass. Now to Leal. Leal boots it upfield. Broken up on the pass attempt and knocked out a touch by a Saint. Humber throw-in. Approaching 20 minutes in. As the rain has turned into a full monsoon, the umbrellas have come out. The rain now falling the hardest it has all day today. Kicked on forward by Humber. Moved around. Aurora. The pass back, broken up from Nunez. St. Clair back with it again. Slide tackle. Gives it back up to Humber. Hussein. Kicks it back. Once again, retreating Fahon. Moved across midfield once more. Hussein. Voids the juke around from Mendonca. Trying to find some space more. Nunez. Nunez floats it through the box, headed away by St. Clair. Running back, Ucello. Again to Rodriguez. Back and forth, Rodriguez working with Hussein. Move to Gasparotto. Kicked ahead by Humber. Rolls itself into St. Clair's box. The goalkeeper calls for the kick. Quickly boots it away towards midfield. Headed back by the Hawks. Would stay in touch. No, it goes out of touch to the benches. St. Clair throw-in coming up. Quickly intercepting the throw-in again, Ucello. St. Clair comes back with it instead of the pass back by DeGloria Jr. Now, Pava has it picked up again by Humber. Rolled around Hussein. Hussein falls down and passes. Nunez passes it back to St. Clair. The pass picked back up by Humber. Now the Hawks continue to play keep away. Very tactical in how this approach has been played out now by the Hawks. Kicked on back once again, retreating is Fehan. He's had the most touches so far today, leading this offensive attack where Humber wants to take the calculated approach. Aurora. Moved on up the near side. Floated on up for Aurora. Aurora forced to cut right. Tries to kick it to the box. Instead, booted up to the sky. And out of touch it goes. Last touch from St. Clair. Corner coming. Remember, the corner kicks have come very quickly. This will come for the right-hand side of your screen. See all the umbrellas popping up. Usello will try and kick his way through the pressure to the box. Missed by just about everybody. Bounces its way all the way to Junior. Junior stops, locks, pops it on forward to Hayes. Hayes speeds his way around a couple Hawks. Passes it cross field. Now with it, Mendonca. Mendonca has it poked away from behind. Mayu tries to keep it up. That one rolls all the way towards the side. Mayu now trying to battle around the goal line, and it's knocked out of touch. And it looks like we're going the other direction. Keep in mind, when it came to St. Clair's Road to get here, remember, it was here on We Digital where they played Niagara College. 2-0 was the final score after Niagara lost their starting goaltender due to injury that game, and they had their initial backup goaltender as a scratch. They then went on to beat Durham in penalty kicks in the quarters. Humber playing keep away still. Those penalty kicks, St. Clair ended up winning 4-1 to get that advantage over the Durham Lords. Find their way into the Final Four at their home stadium. Humber floats it on up. Bounces along the side. Knocked out of touch. And the Hawks take the chance to tie their shoes. So a bit of a time for a breather now from the Hawks there, who've kept this pressure up intensely on St. Clair to the point where St. Clair only has the one shot on target. That one out of touch again, quickly thrown in, quickly moved to the box, quickly passed back, Saints break it up. Now moved across midfield once again. Swirling on in, Fehan again. Ball rolls its way back to DeGloria Jr. DeGloria Jr., the long pass. The slide, the breakup, the kick ahead. Mendonca. Mendonca sees it bounce around. It bounces back towards Humber again. Humber back in control. Nunez has it picked off on his pass. Back and forth goes St. Clair now. DeGloria Jr. pushed around and bopped around. Has now a player down. It's Mayu. Mayu comes back on up. Also was down was Mendonca. Quickly back into play. St. Clair forced to cut back, now cut forward, now pass back, nearly intercepted back. Junior passes it on back. Cross midfield once again goes the pass response from Severino. Bounces around, offsides, flags come up, and again, offsides. Offsides allows Humber to retake the possession marker. Back and forth from the defenders once again. Approaching 24 minutes in here on We Digital. 2-0 the score for the Hawks. On the attack again goes Humber. Nunez has it broken up. St. Clair kicks it on back. Battling hard with the ball, Pava, and that draws a whistle with some contact. And their free kick opportunity. St. Clair will be the ones to kick it. Booted up across midfield and headed away. Back around and bounced around. St. Clair gets it. Able to cut away from one Humber defender. Now moving away from more. Mayhew. Passed on back. Now taken up. It's Jackson Cruz. Pierce. No, Hayes. Hayes is the one who speeds it around. Now as that goes out of touch. Thrown back in by St. Clair, and that rolls directly back once again to Humber. The Hawks had 4 All-Stars in the Central Division. Federico Leo, along with Nunez. Then you have Gasparotto, Juan Uccello. All of them stellar performances in the regular season. They've been amongst those helping the pressure attack brought on for St. Clair's defenders for much of this first half. Goal kick booted all the way towards deep inside Humber territory. St. Clair looking for something, anything. Mendonca kicked with the box, floated away by Humber. Rolling on back is Pava. Now, Junior floats it, headed away. Back to Pava, kicked away. Pava gets it back again. Has it tackled away. Passes it away. Bounces it away. Pollard can't keep the ball away from the Hawks. As the Hawks move it down the field. It's still in touch. Stays within the markers. At the edge of the corner, headed away by St. Clair. And that goes out of touch. So another throw-in situation potentially coming here at the very edge of the corner. This time throw-in will be Rodriguez. Going for the longer throw. Bounced off a couple different Saints instead. This goes out of touch in response. And the Hawks smartly lay off that one. Thrown back into play once again by Humber. Back along the side. Move back towards midfield. Now Nunez. Nunez sees a bounce back to St. Clair. Quickly sped back towards midfield. The defenders retreat back to Examina again. Through the wickets, this time of Fehan. Fehan still able to pass it off. Moved ahead again by Humber. Quick tackle. Junior breaks that up. Junior floats it to Mendonca. Mendonca stops, moves it forward. Trying to move it forward is St. Clair. Now picked up again by Humber. Pushing ahead, bouncing around with the ball. Gadabui tries to charge ahead, and he is visually upset at that one. Some flags popped up along the near side there on that charge attempt, and now a couple officials discussing things, and here comes the yellow card for the reactions. Yellow card is the call here, and that may be, potentially in a charge ahead, what some of that temper flaring would be. So St. Clair gets a yellow card towards their direction. Free kick coming up just outside the box for Humber. Leo will be the one attempting it. They attempt the swing around play with Aurora. Headed away by St. Clair again. And it will go out of touch. In the vicinity was Mayo and Mendonca in that discussion, by the way, for the yellow card situation. Rodriguez will throw it back in again for Humber. Just past halfway in the first half. Rodriguez able to kick it away to Nunez. St. Clair picks it up again. Now with the slow jog. Abraham passes it back to the Hawks instead. The Hawks now take it past midfield once more. Aurora tracks it on down. Very tactical. Still displanning as that gets tapped out of touch. St. Clair gets the throw in from Junior. Junior immediately nearly has it picked off again. Trying to break into space to Gloria. Junior has it picked off again. Now kicked up ahead by Humber. Big opportunity broken up yet again by St. Clair. Humber has been stuck within the middle third, so have St. Clair just about for the past little while, as that's a slide tackle, and a Saint is down. And the slide tackle immediately draws contact here. An immediate yellow card. And they gave it towards the direction of the bench, it looked like this time. That is the Humber bench, keep in mind, that they were staring at. So what we're hearing is a double yellow. It's the situation. Usello is the one trying to play his case for his team with the captain ban. Just past 30 minutes into play in the first half. St. Clair free kick. Loaded up to the goaltender. Once again broken up. Examina. Throws it on forward. Aurora. Out of touch, it rolls once more. Around midfield. And a quick throw-in coming up for St. Clair. Bounced on ahead by the Saints. Attempt to pass it ahead with the header. Trying to shove it around. Humber instead tries to pass it around. Headed on forward once again by Gasparotto. Tracking it down. Katabui keeps it. Tries to break around the corner. Picked up again by Hayes. Hayes sends it to visit some cars. It has missed every single car so far, and it's trekked to the parking lot. Its fellow ball brethren is now thrown in play. St. Clair towards midfield now. And another tackle attempt. Draws contact. That's Junior that goes down this time. Humber still keeps it on forward. Forced retreat back to midfield once again, the Hawks. Humber all the way back to their goalkeeper. Since the start of the tenure for in 2013, won 4 national titles in the CCAA, 2013, 15, 16, and 2018. Now moved along by Humber. Kick back Nunez. Tracked around. Gasparotto. Back and forth. It's a kicking parade. Intercepted by Mendonca. Mendonca pops it back. Pava. Picked off yet again by Fehan. Humber continues to play the patience game around midfield. Fakes out Junior. Pass back and forth around the midfield line. Trying to avoid a slide tackle. Another tackle attempt. A huge hit, and that immediately draws a whistle. Contact going with Hussein knocked to the turf. And already heated discussion for a moment there with the official. That was Abraham that made the contact in that sequence after attempting the tackle twice. This one kicked into the box, headed out of the box. St. Clair floats it back to midfield. Trading on back, Abraham. Junior, back and forth to Gloria. Junior now kicks it back towards midfield yet again. Abraham tracks it. Booted on back and forth now by St. Clair. 3 Hawks surround. The 4th Hawk comes in to help and picks it off. Move back again midfield. Nunez gives it up to Aurora. The forward for Mississauga. Looks to pass it. Still can't pass it. Finally does into the box. The chance. Humber, the shot, scores! Leaford Allen helps lead the charge down the field, and Humber leads 3-0. Allen, the 3rd-year player from Brampton, Ontario, gives a commanding advantage to the Hawks. Approaching 35 minutes in. Keep in mind that does not include stoppage time. St. Clair, ready to get play back going. Back at her way, 3-0. St. Clair going back. Santos just avoids some pressure. Mayhew avoids a tackle attempt. Passes it before the second attempt. Mendonca shoots right. Pass intercepted once again by the Hawks. Nunez breaking around. Floated on around. Back to midfield. Kick behind the back again. Rolls its way back to Allen. Allen after the goal, trying to find more space. Allen has it booted away by Hayes, out of touch to the St. Clair bench. Quickly thrown back in by Humber, approaching the final 10 minutes or so of the first half of play in the second semifinal of the OCAA Men's Soccer Championship, the Final Four, here on We Digital. Moved across midfield by the Hawks. Trying to retreat towards the midfield. Now, kicked ahead by St. Clair. St. Clair takes it towards the midfield line. Forced to spin back Mendonca. Now, moved ahead once more, intercepted once more. Gasparotto. Fehan kicks it back once more, Exhamina. Gasparotto. Move to Aurora. Floated on this time the pass. Nunez makes a bit of contact. No call yet as that gets passed on back to Mendonca. St. Clair trying to find any chance to get an offensive attack going. Couple different slide tackle attempts now come in as a Hawk goes down to the turf. That time it was Husello who was knocked down to the turf here at Acumen Stadium. A free kick coming up. So it's Nunez, Katabui, and Allen who have been credited with the 3 goals for the Humber Hawks in this semifinal matchup. 3-0, just past 37 minutes into the first half. Mayu quickly gives the header. Mendonca pops it up. Headed back by Humber. Kicked left towards the middle. Up on the box and moved away from the box is St. Clair. Now, Junior. Back and forth the passing to Gloria Jr. Given to Mendonca. Mendonca uses the side of his foot to pass to the Junior. Move back once more. Now Pava. Back on the far side to Pava once again. Pava loops it back. Cross midfield. Kick back around to Santos. Santos to Mayu. Mayu watches Junior try and get to work. Junior having a very quiet day as the midfielder. Probably destroy an offensive attack during the regular season. St. Clair takes it across midfield line again. Floating up for Mayu. Mayu tries to break through a pocket. Instead, leaps on down. Mayu is down. Play is still active for Humber. Mayu still trying to get up from the turf. And now time has been stopped. He was down for at least 10 seconds before play was stopped there. So our first major injury stoppage, and they're already signaling to get a substitution ready. St. Clair bench, potentially. Trained staff at the minimum is coming out. Keep in mind that medal day is tomorrow. The bronze is at 1 p.m. The gold medal game at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch both of those games live on We Digital from Acumen Stadium. St. Clair Sports Park, presented by WCU at the St. Clair College, its main campus in Windsor, Ontario. So already one substitution potentially could come in. See that player right there preparing. for this circumstance. Would be the first substitution of this matchup. And it looks like they're already signaling for Mayu to get off the field of play here. So a substitution will be used here. Take the time to remind you of what the men's rankings were, the power rankings entering the postseason. And as mentioned, a lot has changed in the span of a playoff run. The number 2 and 3 teams in the power rankings, Sheridan and Fanshawe, they lost in quarterfinals action. Humber, Seneca, St. Clair, amongst those who moved on, and George Brown, who will be playing for a gold medal for the first time since 2007, was not even ranked entering playoff action. They were 2 and 4. They won 3 straight in the postseason. Humber, meanwhile, kicking it on forward here. Just past 40 minutes into the first half of play. St. Clair feeling a lot of pressure again, kicking it away here on Wheat Digital. Moved on and batted out of touch again. And a new ball quickly thrown into play after one of the other ones was trapped under a bench. The ball bounced around past the benches now. Their substitution potentially getting ready for St. Clair off the bench side, checking things out. Back and forth, St. Clair around midfield. Junior. Kick back along to the far side. Hayes floating up the pass, broken up by the Hawks again. Still retreating back, Mendonca. Mendonca forced retreat again. The Gloria Junior tries to float it over top of Hawk, quickly headed away. A couple different Hawks now sandwich the ball away, and another Saint is upset. Play is still active. That is what appears to be Monte Leone. That was there, down on the turf for a second. Back and forth, around goes Humber. Batted down on the pass by St. Clair. Now it's Junior. Moved up by St. Clair. The attack attempt from Abraham. Abraham, the best shot yet. The shot scores! DeGloria Jr. with the kick in. Gets St. Clair on the board. It's 3-1. And the celebrations active across the field. Carlos DeGloria Jr. breaks on through. And now, it's a 2-goal deficit to the number 1 team in the nation, Humber. The Hawks immediately trying to respond with an attack, quickly tapped out of touch. You see all the fans still on their feet all across the front of the grandstands here. See what St. Clair can do to respond here after that goal. A lot of pressure towards the net now for their own goalkeeper. Able to get some space now. Kojo able to stop that breakup. Kicked away. The wind gusted across the midfield. Headed again by the Hawks. Kicked up and floated up by Pava. Pava has it picked up once again. Hussein. Moved around. Bit of contact again with the Hawks and more whistles blow. And finger pointing comes in now. Knocked down was Katabui. So it looks like a free kick opportunity coming up with the tee off. Just outside the box. Another great chance for the Hawks here. Keep in mind, Hamada played 2 games in the regular season, allowed 2 total goals. Check that one. His total start. 4-2 still was the victory for Humber in that game. St. Clair now trying to build a wall. The Hawks trying to break through it. Quickly deflected up and over top the woodwork and out of play. Corner kick coming up after that one tapped out of touch. So we'll go to the far side for this corner kick. Usello. Hard boot through the traffic and knocked out of touch. And this will lead to a goal kick. That one went off a couple Hawks. Approaching halfway portion of this game, just 45 minutes now down in extra time now. For those tuning in, the two-time defending OCAA champions lead 3-1 over the St. Clair Saints. DeGloria Jr. scored in the 42nd minute to get St. Clair on the board after 3 consecutive Hawks goals. Out of touch throw-in coming up for St. Clair meanwhile. It's Jackson Cruz. Deflecting around in Humber. Floats it up to the sky. The wind blows it back towards play. Bounce snap Severino. Tracking back again. Montileone. Sees it move back to Fejon. And out of touch yet again. And already, things getting ready to wrap things up as both teams make their way off the respective benches. One half of play down, and Humber with a dominating stretch to begin this match. 3-1, your score over the St. Clair Saints. It's the second semifinal matchup here on We Digital. Halftime is now underway. We'll see you in less than 15 minutes' time. You're watching We Digital Productions live from the OCAA Men's Soccer Championship for 2021 from Acumen Stadium at St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario. Welcome back to St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario for today's action. The OCAA Men's Soccer Championship. Justin Prince with you as the Humber Hawks are up 3-1 over the St. Clair Saints. Nunez, along with Katabui and Allen, have scored for Humber. That was 3 straight for the Hawks. St. Clair responded with Gloria Jr. in the 42nd minute, breaking on through to get the Saints on the board. Right now, the Humber Hawks in a great position to try and go for a third consecutive OCAA gold at the moment. Both teams are just about ready to go. The Humber Hawks will start off with the ball to begin the second half of play. St. Clair started in the first half. In the Central Division's best defensive team look strong with their play, preventing St. Clair from breaking through into the Humber middle, or the Humber third, I should say, of the field. Back underway for the second half of play. The Hawks kick it up to midfield. Mayhew. Now bounced around and slid around, out of touch. Now he quickly thrown in. Even the Hawks agree it was St. Clair touch for the throw-in. Humber, meanwhile, takes the ball back regardless. They kick it down across to St. Clair's territory. Move back around and kick back once again. Hayes sees a kick back and forth. Gloria Jr. Now moved ahead. Nunez threw across the box. Humber with a chance to extend the gap. The leap ahead. The break ahead. Broken up by St. Clair. That was Dante Pavin who came in to start this second half for Humber. Wants a couple potential changes. That one stays. No, it does not. Pollard tried to slide it to keep it in touch. They called it out of touch. Now Humber is back with it. Stream back to Fejon. Floated up past midfield. St. Clair heads it forward. Kicked ahead by Mayhew. On the midfield line, the Hawks again look to soar. They control much of the time of possession, keep in mind, for those keeping track at home, especially with their back and forth passing such as this. Continuing to go forward this time, the Hawks. Trying to go on another attack. Looking to pounce on St. Clair. A chance. Nunez, the shot scores. And the celebration goes all the way to the sideline. 4-1. And Humber is in full command here. Full command for the Humber Hawks. And a chance to extend. St. Clair back in play. Moved ahead by Pollard. Kick cross field and taken away by Humber yet again. 3 shots from St. Clair, 8 for Humber. 4-1 the score. Just 3 minutes into the second half of play. The Hawks trying to add to it still. Not giving up. Katabui through the box. Shot scores. Allen his second. And the goal parade continues. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes in the first half. 2 goals in the first 3 minutes in the second half. And the Hawks' command of this match continues to expand. Back underway, St. Clair with the ball. You have to wonder what the thought process is for the coaching staff for St. Clair after seeing this deficit expand. Mike Bereslievsky, 29 years at the helm of this program, watching on that sideline as Humber again nearly has a chance there. Once again, setting things up once more is a corner kick opportunity. And they're going to switch to Pavan, who elects to go for the pass from the corner instead. Floated up through the box. The header poked around by the goaltender. Kick back for a reset. Forced to track it on down Luis Escobar. And a hard bit of contact down to the turf this time. Pava. And the training staff is immediately getting called out to the field here. And the amount of reaction from the stands is immense. Here in the yellow coming. Pava now walks off the field. So again, just past 50 minutes into play, St. Clair free kick coming up, 5-1 Humber on the board. That includes Nunez with 2 goals, Allen with 2 goals, along with Katabui with 1 goal. Cross midfield, Humber again picks it off. St. Clair trying to pick it back off. Nearly they do that. Now they do. Bounced around and a handball. Handball the call. That one tapped off the hand of Pollard. Bounced around quickly for the pass. Ball bounced away for Aurora towards the side, out of touch. Keep an eye on who they signal here. They say it went off Aurora's foot. St. Clair throws it in, immediately throws it to Humber. Headed away by St. Clair. Headed back by the Saints. Humber back on the charge again. Another chance. This time it rolls to the goalkeeper. And now we have an argument. 3, 4, 5, 6 plus players are now surrounding each other with a discussion here. This was way off the ball. And already a couple substitutions for Humber are getting ready to come into the game in response to that. And that's Catabui, who is getting discussed with the officials there. Some of the Saints now having discussions with them. Seeing the backdrop, though, at least one Hawk could be coming in here for a sub. Goal kick coming up. They're checking the condition for the ball. The sub waits along the side for now. That one all the way nearly above the light post around Acumen Stadium. Pushed on forward now by St. Clair to the corner. Trying to move it back out as Humber. Bounced it around and out of touch to the ball boys. Back and forth goes St. Clair. Now back and forth goes Humber. Now moved out of touch. Throw-in coming up this time, Hayes. Humber quickly breaks up the attempt for St. Clair to attempt another attack. Now another attack back. Allen for the hat trick. Passes it off instead. Nunez for his chance. Up with the shot and quickly stopped. St. Clair able to dodge that one. Move out of touch. My goodness. Abraham just steps out of bounds with it. Now Humber after the throw-in with it. Fehan boots it up. Now one player gets pushed down. Allen. No whistle. Booted across midway portion of the field. Cello and whistles drawn. Push off the call. Quickly passed away by Humber. Approaching 10 minutes of play into the second half. 5-1 Humber. They look to continue one of those dominant stretches. OCAA history, to say the least. Modern times. Especially men's soccer, as that one goes out of touch. St. Clair throw-in. Backed around. Humber retreats back to midfield. A shoving match leads to St. Clair with it. Now kick back. Humber back over to Rodriguez. Kicked ahead by Fehan. Slowly tapped ahead once good. Payback. Slow roll attack. Nunez gets it back. Jukes right, loses the ball. St. Clair again with it. Knocked down on the pass by Humber again at midfield. And another Hawk knocked down. Rodriguez this time from behind by Abraham. Quickly passed back by the Hawks. And the rain continuing to pelt on down. If you look close enough with the ball, it's getting to the point where with the artificial turf, you can see the trail of water being kicked up as the ball drifts across the playing surface. St. Clair tries to float it up ahead. Instead, that wet turf keeps it plucked down on the ground. Humber across to midfield now. Paven. Passed ahead to the far side. Back to midfield once more. Treating on back more for Escobar. Escobar back and forth. Escobar gets it back. Escobar boots it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez now backs out of a corner. Finds Fehan. Kicked on ahead once more for Rodriguez. Now with it, Escobar. Escobar floats it through, bounces off a couple different Saints. Severino boots it away to midfield. Knocked on down by Rodriguez. Kick back by Feijón. Back and forth with Feijón. Feijón kicks it forward. Humber kicks it back. Humber retreats back to the goaltender. And this sets up the reset. This time the goal kick immediately to midfield. Tapped around by Feijón. Feijón back and forth. Now with it, Uccello. On the far side, Uccello gets it back. Uccello with the hard kick. Allen tries to cut in. Instead, it bounces its way to Kojel, the first-year goaltender. Goalkeeper from St. Joseph's Secondary School in Windsor. Hayes. Out of touch quickly. Pollard. The intended target. Quickly approaching the final 60 minutes or so of this matchup. St. Clair continuing to struggle to break in for the offensive attack. Currently a substitution being made, a couple in fact. You see some of them, including Feijón, who has been a critical part of almost every single start of an attack for Humber today. Much of the bench has now been switched out. Now St. Clair with it. Intercepted immediately by Escobar. Escobar tries to float it up to Allen. Allen not able to get to it. Hayes lets it roll out of touch. And immediately they'll set up for the goal kick. St. Clair looking to find a spark. To have a shot at least guaranteeing their first medal in 21 years. St. Clair trying to push ahead. Floated up to the box, quickly kicked away by Humber. Cross midfield, now knocked back down immediately by St. Clair. Trying to charge ahead Severino. Severino watches that one goes out of touch. Humber throwing coming up. Humber going back and forth, back and forth. Moved around for a bit of pushing and shoving in a sandwich for Allen. And Allen quickly gets back up. Quick kick coming from Humber. They elect to pass it back instead. Give St. Clair credit. This is their first Final Four since 2012, keep in mind. Versalevsky, a 5-time West Region Coach of the Year, as well as the longtime president and coach of the Windsor FC Nationals Club program. St. Clair trying to stop this attack, meanwhile, from Humber, as that's knocked out of touch. Coming up is an hour corner kick situation as in the backdrop. You may notice some of the fans continuing to stay very active as well. Give them a lot of credit. Large amount of fans came to cheer on the St. Clair Saints in this game to see if they can make the gold or have to go to the bronze. Now, the goalkeeper tries to clear out the box as the kick, he waffled it. St. Clair quickly tries to dive around Allen. Allen sees it sail over the woodwork. Getting back ready for the goal kick. And we emphasize just how dominant the past few years, too, for the Humber Hawks program has been when we talk about the average of 1 loss per season over the tenure of 12 years by Coach Michael Aquino. Over the past 5 alone in the regular season, Humber 38, 3-4. That's how terrific the Hawks program has been as that goes out of touch. This is right now the pathway for them, if this continues to stick, being a historic chapter in their program. to try and become a team that has a chance at 9 of the past 11 gold medals. St. Clair trying to break up the 5-1. This one knocked out a touch. Now a corner kick coming up. This time kicking it will be Massimo Pollard, second-year player from Windsor. Floated up towards the box. And it bounces off the top of some of the Humber Hawks' heads, but not off of Saint. To the goalkeeper. Kicked away barely. Moved up to midfield yet again by St. Clair now. They try and push it. Now bounced around. Pava. Kicked ahead. Back towards the Humber goalkeeper. Bounced around. St. Clair trying to dive at it. Floated up. Humber kicks it on backwards. Rodriguez sees it booted hard down the field, this time towards midfield. Stays in touch still. Paven. Looking to jot around, instead goes out of touch. Escobar sees it bounce back and forth between his fellow defenders for Humber. Escobar tried to call for it at midfield. Instead, the Hawks trying to go up the far side for the attack. Loping on around this time. Babwali, the shot, quickly kicked down by St. Clair. Escobar finally gets the ball. Now roll back far side. Now, they utilize the pick of Usello. Grays back and forth, trying to open up a hole. Bounced around, trying to break it up. Santos can't. Humber still playing small ball, going for the short passes. There's a short pass. No call there. Now to the box. Allen, quick shot, bounces off the back foot of Aseng. Quickly kicked across to midfield. That rolls its way to Rafael Wuzu. Now, approaching 65 minutes in. Pass backed. Pass bounces. Nunez. Long now, far side. The shot goes out of touch. Way off the woodwork still for the Hawks. Corner kick is this call. And they again elect to defer for a pass. That has been their way of attack, as the corner kick has not worked out too much the traffic today with the rain conditions. This one, kick to the goalkeeper, and it goes out of touch, and our corner kick coming. Gojo could not hold on to the ball as that quickly went right behind him. So now an additional corner kick coming near side. They elect to pass it again. This time kicking it through to the box. Headed away by St. Clair. Throw in coming up. Quickly, Humber trying to get back to work. Flared up by Santos. Roll back Usello. Picked off by the Saints again. Gloria Jr. helps pass it forward. Now roll it back. Retreating back, Pava. Pava on the side, out of touch. Humber quickly trying to get ready to throw it. And a Saint is starting to get ready to come in. You see right along midfield. Keep an eye on that for a potential substitution on the next major stoppage. Humber cutting back, bouncing around, battling hard. The Hawks move it on back. Wusu passes it away before the tackle attempt. Bounced around and picked up by Pollard. Moved on back around. Headed back by St. Clair. Humber retreats it once again. St. Clair collides a couple different players. Still no definitive holder of the ball. Now that definitiveness goes to Pava. Pava sees it go out of touch. They say, looks like St. Clair. Substitution coming in. It's mentioned that substitution was in the wings. Noel Jr. is out of the match. In the match now goes the player from LaSalle, Ontario, first year eligible one, the forward, and Matteo Majali. And you see a response coming from Humber as that goes out of touch back. Throw-in coming up to Usello. Likes to pass it and defer it. Bounced around the far side. Tackle attempt by St. Clair. St. Clair still picks it off to Gloria Jr. Sees Magelli try and cut ahead. Finding some open space, and that goes out of touch instead. Approaching 20 minutes to go for a goal kick opportunity. Again, you're watching Wheat Digital Productions for the OCAA Men's Soccer Championship. It's the semifinals. The winner takes on George Brown in the gold medal game. Seneca, number 10 nationally, was upset earlier today, 2-1. Humber looking for the cherry on top of the ice cream cake as that one's moved out of touch. Two players go tumbleweeding around in the corner. St. Clair with it. Moved by Mayhew to midfield. Gasparotto back to the goalkeeper. Examina. Back again midfield. Escobar sees it charged around. Trying to break around, and a bit of contact from behind. Down to the turf this time goes Usello. St. Clair Saints apologizing for that contact, in fact, as well. So this will set up a free kick opportunity. Starting to get very dark as well above the skies. The lights have been on all throughout the day at Acumen Stadium. But currently the time is already quickly approaching 6 p.m. Eastern. Booted on ahead and diving it on down is the goalkeeper. St. Clair trying to move it across midfield after the big save once again from Kojal as that goes out of touch. St. Clair will throw it back in. Not sure if they just threw it in or just kicked it on in. Humber, regardless, breaks it up and goes out of touch. They'll try it again. See a bit of the discussion now. The coaching staff right there. Substitution was just made. That's part of the reason for that stop here. St. Clair has just subbed out Mayhew. And there's your new player. Throwing it on in. Majali. Jolly sees it booted along. St. Clair forced retreat back. They try and break through the third portion for Humber's field. Move back to midfield again. The ball has made a home in this section of the field much of the day today. Booted around by St. Clair now. Back and forth. Moved across midfield yet again. Abraham loops it around to Gloria Jr. Gloria Jr. pass way off the mark. Picked off by Humber. Slowly grazed on forward by Paven. Paven takes the tumble. Moved back again by the Hawks. Booted hard off the top of the head of Severino to the goalkeeper. Kojal throws it as far as he can. Bounces off a Saint defender. Now rolls to midfield. The midfielders try and work in unison. Kicked on back by Jackson Cruz. On back near side yet again. Hayes. Trotted down Severino. Pass back to Hayes. Moved up Abraham. Now up to Rody Masloom. Masloom trying to loop from some space. Keep an eye on him on this attack. He tries to set it up. Breaks on through a hole. Uses his size to his advantage, but draws a contact from behind. And that set up a possible opportunity here, it appears, for St. Clair. Keep in mind, 5'8". Masloom trying to squeeze through 2-3 different Hawks and nearly did. Now it's Mendonca who will go for the free kick. 2 Hawks will try and block this opportunity. Make it 3. Just past the 72nd minute, and the third player to come on in. Usello bounces off his head. Floated on up to the fencing and out of touch. St. Clair throw-in once more coming up. Quickly out of touch, St. Clair. Get that throw-in now to Humber. So once again, here is the goal line in what has been a dominating performance for Humber. 2 goals apiece for Nunez and Allen. Then you have Katabui, who scored one in the 10th minute. Gloria Jr., the only Saint to break through today on the score sheet. And right now, St. Clair needs a few miracles. Quickly trying to set things up after a quick call for a free kick. Instead, passed along near side to Hayes. Hayes given a ton of space to run. Tries to float it past a couple different Hawks, instead knocked down. St. Clair passed along and grazed along. Masloom. And out of touch yet again. About 16 minutes to play here in this matchup, the second semifinal here on We Do Productions. And another substitution coming in for St. Clair as they continue to clear out their bench. That time, that is Adam Zylstra coming in. Humber, meanwhile, another attack opportunity. Usello amongst those leading it. The chance to the box, the goalkeeper dives on it. The Saints break up the rush opportunity. Hayes now with it. Passed along to Masloom. Spinning on around. Rodriguez. Paven. Bounce back. Past Aurora. Back to Paven. Paven knocked off the ball. No whistle. St. Clair keeps on trying to charge back. St. Clair quickly loses the ball. Abraham pushes back, and that's going to quickly draw the whistle and an immediate card. Not even a flinch this time from Vasseldeek. Second yellow card for St. Clair. Humber's picked up 3 this match. In the regular season, St. Clair had 12 yellow cards, 6th at the OCAA. Humber, keep in mind, also had 12, tying that mark. Kick back and forth, and all the way around. Rodriguez sees it go to Escobar. Escobar gets the ball back. Back and forth, Escobar. Escobar now down after contact. Escobar gets off the turf as St. Clair rushes it back up. Passed ahead. Majelli. And knocked out of touch once again. With under 15 minutes to work with. St. Clair. Right now, in the spot. They're in line to go to the bronze game. That's knocked out of touch. St. Clair throwing coming up. Again, if this score sticks, it would be Seneca. It would be the opponents in the bronze game. The bronze medal game tomorrow. This one booted across midfield yet again. Meanwhile, St. Clair unable to come up with it once more. Ucello has it passed on back, retreating back. That is Tristan Gale. Gale, second-year player from Brampton. Looping it around, Pavin. Pavin. Goes back and forth. 3 times over now. Kicked on ahead now. How about a 4th time almost? That one's knocked around. And out of touch again. And a couple different players, keep in mind, along the sidelines are starting to stretch for potential substitutions. How this match has fared out of touch once more. Humber. White slide tackle. Escobar. Sees it go on to touch yet again for another throw-in opportunity. And there's the substitution. So the captain, Ucello, comes off the field, and look at that. He'll give the captain's patch to his fellow sub. So the 4th-year player from Markham, Ontario, now out of the match. His replacement is amongst those on the attack, quickly losing the ball. Passed on up. That is Leal. Leal has the captain's patch now. Maslow. To Hayes. Abraham misses his passing mark and out of touch. Approaching 10 minutes to play. The years of domination continues to look strong for this Humber program. And now, that cherry on top has another true chance here. On the attack forward, broken up by St. Clair yet again. Once again, Maslow. Back over to Hayes. Scan around Severino. Floated around, looking around St. Clair. Spinning around this time, Majali. Majali tries to cut ahead. St. Clair trying to get something done. Maslow. Up to Hayes. Hayes with a lot of space, forced to stop. Back to Abraham. Pass back just outside the box. To Gloria. Tries to move it in the box. Instead, that ball is kicked to the grandstands and out of touch. Maslow. Throw it on in, and there is a Hawk down on the field, you see. And that just so happens to be Federico Leal, the midfielder from Ottawa, Ontario, one of the All-Stars. And he is visibly not happy down there with what happened prior to that boot away. And it looks like one of the trainers is indicating for him to go to the sideline. See. St. Clair has also, meanwhile, brought a player from their sideline and bench. It looks like play continues on. Humber to midfield once more. Quickly, whistle's blown. And already some discussions popping up yet again with the Gloria Juniors, starting to get a bit chippy. Passed on ahead, Rodriguez able to see it in time. Loaded up towards the box, St. Clair heads it away. Approaching 8 minutes to go, not including added time in this semifinal matchup. Mendonca has it poked loose yet again. It's not been a pretty day. It's Baba Wall. Baba Whale. See that one. Rolls it for the throw-in. Moved on all the way out of touch quickly. For a goal kick situation instead, St. Clair just threw it out. But it's pretty clear right now, Humber's in a spot to try and in a good position to win a third straight gold, depending on how things fare out tomorrow. The Hawks have it intercepted on the pass towards midfield. Masloom cuts back. Pass back. There's a Fogel. Back inside St. Clair territory. Moved around towards midfield yet again by the Saints. So far, St. Clair with just 4 shots on goal. The goalkeeper forced to dive on that one. 14 shots for Humber, for comparison's sake. The goalkeeper has had to make 1 save today. This one's kicked away over the head of some of the Saints defenders. Corresponding goal kick coming up. Kojo. Approaching now 6 minutes to go in regulation. Knocked out of touch yet again for another throw-in opportunity. To remind folks tuning in, St. Clair right now is in the spot where they will be hoping to win their first bronze since 1993, their first medal general since 2000. Tomorrow afternoon, that would be against Seneca. Humber take on George Brown and the Huskies. Huskies, remember, pulled off the upset, make their first title game since 2007. Humber's attack, meanwhile, broken up. St. Clair across midfield yet again. Monteleone. Poked around. Gale. Gale breaks up another chance and another charge ahead. Aurora takes it up for the Hawks. Kicked ahead towards open space. A chance kicked away by St. Clair. Ball bounces for Aurora for the header. 5 minutes to play in regulation. And now a whistle blown. Saint shoved someone from behind there. The attempt for the tackle. Quickly passed by Humber. Humber trying to drain clock. Kicked around. Me. Watch, that goes out of touch. Maslow. Kicked around. True Crown. Has it picked off yet again. St. Clair kicks it back to the goalkeeper for another reset. Floated on up this time. Kojo kicked high out of touch for another throw-in. St. Clair moves it across the timeline still. Quickly moves it out of touch. It has not been the prettiest of matches for them today. Masloom, plenty of touches since substituting in. This time draws a whistle. Free kick opportunity coming up. It's a good placement this time for Brooke Rao. A rare free kick for St. Clair within Humber's side of the field. 12-2, this time kicked around. The header attempt. Knocked out of touch. And yet again, another opportunity goes for naught in what has been the trend of the day. Saints. Samada has looked really strong. Samada made a couple total saves, but has also been a critical part of the communication for when the defense tries to reset their attack plans. St. Clair trying to force a mistake here. They instead try and pass it up Escobar. Quickly intercepted by St. Clair. Quickly shoving around and pushing around. Zylstra. Zylstra tries to chase and keep in. They do. Moved around the outside. Knocked out a touch quickly. Bounced off a Hawk. Approaching 90 seconds. Not including stoppage time to go. Loaded up now by Humber. Humber to midfield. Humber with a good chance to add to their score totals. The cut in. The pass back out into the reset. Forced to retreat around. Paven. Paven gets it back. Goes for the shot. Deflected off a Saint. Will this stay in play? No, it goes out of touch. Throw in now coming in from Humber. Quickly bounced around off a couple different Saints. And another quick free whistle. Free kick coming again for St. Clair within their own zone. Alarm boot this time from St. Clair all the way back towards the goalkeeper. Kicked up to the sky. Gasparotto. And out nearly. Kept just in touch by Gale. Gale avoids. Gale the pass. Deflected out. Out of touch again. Approaching added time now. Humber. In full command since the opening kick of the day. Kicked on forward by Humber. St. Clair picks it up yet again. It's Severino. Couple more chances possible for St. Clair. This one goes for naught. Another out of touch. And that is it. The celebrations begin. Humber is again moving on to the gold medal game. The Hawks dominate. 5-1, the final over St. Clair. And the Humber Hawks, in turn, are now in line to battle for a gold medal against George Brown and the Huskies tomorrow. St. Clair will take on the Seneca Sting for the bronze medal game tomorrow. Here, you'll see it on We Digital, the bronze medal game, 1 p.m. Seneca, St. Clair for the OCAA Men's Soccer Championship. Again, here on We Digital. Then the gold medal game is at 4 p.m. The Huskies, the Hawks. Be sure to tune in from Acumen Stadium. But with that, it's time to say goodbye. For the rest of our crew, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Once again, final score, Humber 5, St. Clair won the final.